The Beekeeper is a brand new 2024 film which is currently in theaters. This is directed by David Ayer and it stars Jason Statham, who, of course, is pretty much a legend in anything he touches, especially in the action genre, especially in the B movie action genre. And no, that was not a pun. I know the B puns are being made with this film like crazy, of course, in my thumbnail even. But it does definitely feel like a B movie for sure in style, and it's definitely action packed, and it's definitely pretty much exactly what you would think it would be just by watching the trailer or just by hearing a movie called The Beekeeper starring Jason Statham. So it's pretty self-explanatory. What we have going on here is we have Jason Statham as a beekeeper, and basically he works for this woman, or at least he's taking her some honey, and she lives on like a rural farm area, kind of outside of Boston, and he works. He lives on her farm, but I don't. He's also, I don't know if he's harvesting bees there or not, but she's giving him place to sleep, kind of thing, at least. And she gets involved in this internet scam, and basically he afterwards goes to chase down the bad guys and wreak some havoc on these people that messed with this woman's life, without getting too spoilery. And the film just basically gives you a bunch of catalysts for Jason to go mess shit up, essentially. And there's this FBI agent. There's a lead woman who plays this FBI agent, but the FBI gets involved with everything while Jason Statham himself is going very rogue. It's not necessarily explained whether he has, like, military background or, his fighting skills, where they came from or anything like that, but it's pretty suggested and you kind of can put the pieces together yourself. But the FBI is trying to get him while he's doing his own thing and going rogue, chasing these bad guys. So you have the FBI and him trying to be his one-man army kind of thing, going after these goons that screw this woman over. Also, the female FBI agent is the daughter of this woman. So they all have their personal kind of ties to it. It's a blast of a film. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars because I had an absolute blast with it. Jason Statham is awesome as always, like I said, and the script definitely is weak, and I would actually say the script is kind of shitty. But the choreography and the action scenes are really well done, and the characters are dense. I find they're big in personality. This film swears a lot. Like, there is a lot of fucks used in this film, and I don't even have a problem with swearing whatsoever. But it gets very tedious when it's forced, and it feels forced in this film. Like, just the way it's written, people are saying fuck for the sake of it, and it's almost as if it was put there on purpose, like we have to put it in every sentence, kind of thing. It's just kind of eye rolling. But for some people, maybe they'll get a kick out of that too, along with the whole B-moviness and action style of it. The girl who plays the FBI agent, her name's Emmy, the actress's name is Emmy Raver Lampman? Emmy Raver Lampman, yeah. And when she's introduced at the beginning of the film, she is really annoying. She comes in heavy with the aggravation. She's not the most likable character, especially at the start. She starts to tone it down a little bit, but she's clearly in the film as the comic relief, and she's cracking all the jokes, and she's like the young, wisecracking girl who's like new to the FBI kind of thing. It's fine. It carries the story along, but she wasn't one of my favorite characters in the film. Excuse me. The slimy villain guy, who's played by Josh Hutcherson, I think it's pronounced. He's a slimy dirtbag, and you really want to see the up and comings come to him. He's definitely good at playing the type of villain that you hate. And then you have his father, played by Jeremy Irons, who's always great. I wish I saw more Jeremy Irons films. I know he did the voice of Scar in The Lion King, and that's one thing he's very famous for. But I don't really recall or have a big list of Iron films that I've seen in the past, but I know he's pretty legendary and he has definitely a huge resume when it comes to acting credentials. So I do definitely wish or I do intend to at least watch a lot more of his films. But he delivers a good performance in this one, and he's that like rich daddy that just takes care of his son's problems for every step of the way, and like is always annoyed at his son for getting into the deepest shit imaginable all the time, and he even drops some like sarcasm with it too. But he's he's always there to cover his back kind of thing. So I liked his character and his role in this film as well. What happens to the lady at the beginning, which starts this whole thing off with the internet scam? I've never had something like tear at my heart, and like it's weird because I don't want to like say too much on what happens exactly, but basically it's a scam and they steal our money essentially. I'll just say that. But what it plays off and her performance in there and just the cringiness that you have these people that actually have no heart and no soul that can do that to people, and this is really reminiscent to stuff that happens in real life, and they do target people who don't have computer skills, who don't have technological skills, who are very gullible and naive to fall for these scams, and usually it's people 55 plus kind of thing. And it's like a 5 to 10 minute scene, but it just really broke my heart seeing this woman very innocently and very, like I said, naive, giving her information away, and then you have this guy, talking on is like talking to her kind of thing, and he shuts it off every once in a while, and he'll tell his buddies like, I don't have any fucking kids. Oh yeah, ma'am, I'm here to help you. And he's doing all these like gestures and everything. I'm just like, I can't believe people like this exist, and it's literally a representation of people who actually are able to do this and do it in real life all the time. So, and I like the fact that they made Jason Statham go rogue as well, but because of that, a lot of scenes are basically just set up where it's just reasons for him to kick people's asses. Like there's certain scenes where he'll start to go after the FBI, and they feel a little bit forced, where I'm sitting there and I'm like, the FBI is kind of helping you out, why are you just kicking their ass kind of thing. Like you feel sometimes that they should be not joining forces, maybe that would be a little bit too cheesy, but he should probably take it easy with them because they're not really necessarily giving him a whole lot of problems. I can see how like they would get in his way kind of thing, but basically what I'm getting at is there's a lot of scenes that just seem forced again to give Jason Statham a reason to kick somebody's ass kind of thing, or a group of people. And I don't know what it is about trying to have Jason Statham talk American. His accent is so fitting, and you can tell in any film that he's ever tried to do an American accent that he really has a hard time doing it, and I don't think he had the vocal training or ever went through the vocal training or cares to, because his accent legitimately is part of his charm and part of the reason that gives him the charisma that he has. So I don't know why directors and producers, like, or script writers, or whoever's making the decisions behind the scenes, get him to even bother doing an American accent, because just have him talk Statham. Like that's why he's badass, is because he talks Statham, and he even has this like distinct dialect to him as an English accent. Why would you ask him to be like, hey, why don't you try to talk American kind of thing? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not saying that it's like a bad thing to have range or anything like that. I admire actors who have range, but sometimes it's just not needed at all. And with Statham specifically, 99% of the time it's not. So that's just a little tidbit of a rant, but regardless, I really had a good time with this film. It's a perfect B movie, no pun intended. And I can't even say B movie without, sounding like I'm making a pun, but it is a good B movie, and it definitely hits every mark when it comes to the style that it is, and it's a lot of fun. So even with a weak script, you're not really there for, great dialogue and chef kisses when it comes to the script writing. You're just there to see a lot of great choreography and a well paced film, which this film definitely is well paced. So a lot of great moments in it, and from beginning to end, it's a lot of fun, and I strongly recommend it. 4 out of 5 from me, like I said, and go check it out while it's still out. Subscribe to Market Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.